full potential, spiritually, mentally, physically. Kind of some of the realities of our area, you know, are that we're pretty remote. There's a lot of depression and suicide and substance abuse kind of in this area, and so we try and provide a safe, supportive environment, you know, for kids to try new things, to feel like they belong to something, and to be surrounded by people that care, and that it's okay for them to mess up or act out, and we're going to help support them no matter what happens. And if they can learn how to you know, find a high naturally, you know, then that sometimes helps keep them away from, you know, substance abuse in other areas. And I don't know. I like what we do. I believe in it. Yeah.
This is a tomato. Think it's good for you? Think again.
A lot of times with the kids, because there isn't anything to do, there's no outlets where they can kind of, you know, be themselves, be a kid, that they don't have support systems from their families. A lot of times one parent will be in jail, or both parents will be in jail, or one parent will have, you know, left when they were really young. A lot of these kids grow up not having really anything to turn to. And so it's really easy.
Hey folks, welcome back live with the Shaman. And I'll kind of tell y'all the same thing I did on Open Pagan Church, that my, for some reason, color adjustment is kind of gone whack a little bit, so the green screen kind of shows up in the background.
Go.
Alright, we got live with the Shaman going. We got Discord up.
Hey, good morning.
Hey. Right.
Woo.
Couple of real quick disclaimers. Okay, Live with the Shaman is an adult channel. We're liable to cuss and say things that may piss you off. We don't care. And the topic itself, we may end up with a relatively short broadcast today, as it were, but there you go. I have all intentions of pissing some people off. This is a bit of a rant, and it's been a long time coming. But, right? I think it's something that needs to be said, especially during the time of this video. Here in 2020, ever since January of this year, it's been a bit chaos. And I have watched social networks blow up with some of the most unbelievable bullshit rhetoric of all of my years on social network. Anybody that knows me knows that's been a long freaking time. The first social network I logged into was 1994, was a bulletin board system at a DOS prompt. Boy, am I showing my age. Well, look at my beard, you can show my age. So the title today is, what is Shaman truth? Well, I mean, the best can be said for what is human truth. The best can be said of, we all know that 90% of any truth is perception. Everybody sees things different. Everybody perceives things different. Everybody looks at things a little different. But folks, the shit I'm talking about today is absolute ludicrous bullshit. Both politically and with the COVID-19 crisis. And I haven't made up my mind yet whether this broadcast will be shared on our archives. YouTube will probably kick it because I use the term COVID-19 without any scientific fact to back it up. I could give two shits. So if anybody's asking for the archive to the broadcast in case Facebook removes it or YouTube removes it, they can find it on LWTS.tv. They're an open source broadcast channel where you can pretty much broadcast any shit you want to broadcast. So what's got me riled up? Well, I'm going to start with politics. I sit every day and I see sociocratic bullshit posted on Facebook of things that somebody sees a picture of something and says, oh my God, I gotta share that. They don't have sense enough to go to Snoops or Google it and see what the truth is. I don't know about the rest of the path, but I do know that under the tradition of the Grove of the Celtic Shaman, those of you posting bullshit may want to read that fucking tradition and wonder just how far out of the tradition you are. Now, if anybody's got anything to say, bugger on up and belly up to the bar and get you some.
Oh, I agree with you right there, sir. I do agree.
I mean, I'm perfectly fine with people posting shit that can be validated. Because, and I'll be the first to admit, I am bad about reading something going, what the fuck? And I have been guilty in years past of going, holy shit, share. But I had my ass handed to me enough times that I'm like, wait a minute. I need to exercise a little bit of intelligence here and stop sharing innuendo and conspiracy theorist unproven bullshit.
But
So what did you see?
Not anything in particular, Jamie. You've seen the same shit I've seen, and you have even posted and replied to some of it, and that's not what's important. What's important is,
check your facts.
well, yeah, check your facts, but come on, guys, what's even more important than that is we are no longer just a Texas society. We're no longer just a state society. America is no longer its own society. We are a global,
We're a global society.
Yes, we are a global society connected globally by thousands of different social networks. There are other societies around the globe, America included, that pay people to post untrue, drama-written rhetoric to keep people stirred up.
As our president would say, fake news.
Well, yeah, you know, he needs to keep his mouth shut because he is fake news. Oop, I said that.
The interesting thing about the whole fake news idea is the free press was part of the Constitution that was put there on purpose, and their entire job is to do exactly what they've been doing. And so the fact that they're repeatedly calling everything that is said fake news says to me that it's
not.
Yep. Yep. Well, and I mean, anybody with 50 cents worth of intelligence knows that no matter what news agency it is, they're going to post and broadcast sensationalism because it builds those numbers up. It puts advertising dollars in the bank. Now, granted,
It's a
there are...
numbers game.
Say again?
I said it's just a numbers game.
Yeah, absolutely. But somewhere, somehow, maybe I'm being wishful thinking, but some people should have enough intelligence to go, I wonder what the rest of that story is. I mean, I know firsthand from growing up in the area that I grew up in and going through the rhetoricalistic, backstabbing bullshit that I went through in the pagan community for a while down south, that people hear what they want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you take some poor fucker that gets a giggle and says, hey, I was cleaning my ear last night and the damn cotton came off with a Q-tip. I had to get a pair of tweezers to dig it out. Well, by the time it gets around to you, your brains came out with the tweezers because you hemorrhaged and you were bleeding through the ears and tried to clean it out with a Q-tip. Some shit like that. I'm like, no, you stupid fuckwad, that's not what I said. And they're like, but that's what I heard, so that's what was posted on the internet. It's got to be real.
Doom and gloom.
Right.
Chicken
Shit
Little
on the
does
internet's not
fall.
true.
Huh?
I said, Chicken Little, the sky is not falling.
Well, it depends on whether or not it's raining.
Sky's still not falling if it's raining. It's just water dripping.
Well, that's just clouds falling, but that's not the sky, right? I mean, come
Right.
on. You know, let's have a little. But see, herein lies the problem, Lester, and you guys that are in chat and in Discord, you know yourself that it doesn't take much time to look at something that has you riled up and research it.
There's Snoops. I always go to Snoops. Snoops is pretty good.
Snoop rocks. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Snoop's not 100%, nothing is.
No, nothing is. But
They pay people to research this shit out, and if you'll notice on Snoop's, they usually take the snippets or the paragraph of something that someone said in quotes, and then they will follow the rest of the quotation off of it so that somebody's not taking a single sentence or a single paragraph out of context.
mm-hmm. But the point
There's
is,
a whole piece right now where they keep trying to interpret pieces of the Constitution that they know nothing about.
yeah,
Hence the term interpret.
interpret.
I mean, how many innocent people are sitting in jail because some dumbass judge interpreted the law incorrectly?
I know at least 3.
Yeah. So let's carry that one step further. If you go before a judge, and I have done this and proven it, you go before a judge and you say, Your Honor, the law says, ba-da. Well, my job, and I quote, my job is to interpret the law, and that's not what it means.
So,
Okay,
the law is not open to interpretation.
all right.
The law is the law.
So then you go back to that same judge on another case, and you tell the same judge what they told you. Well, your job is to interpret the law. They will tell you, no, my job is to enforce the letter of the law.
It's catch-22.
It is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's my question. Is not truth the same thing?
Yep.
It's a catch-22 situation that is the interpretation.
Open to perception.
Yes.
And
It's
what bugs me is so many people get on Facebook and read an article and go, "Oh, I like that." Share.
and they have no idea what the fuck they're sharing.
And it's like,
Rachel, in reply to you, it is snoops.com.
Hang on,
It's an
I'll get
amazing
it.
page. It's an amazing page. But, you know, don't even take just Snoops at its word. I mean, Google the shit and don't take the first... Come on, don't take the first 5 listings. Start reading down and get rid of the rhetoric and bullshit that's come up to the top, because like Lester said, rhetoric and bullshit. You know, drama. People love drama. Drama sells. What were y'all saying before I interrupted? Sorry. And
I was just thinking that they do the exact same thing and have been for centuries now with the Bible. It doesn't matter what it says, it's who interprets it and who tells you what it's supposed to.
yes, I mean, how many times have I said if human society lived by the words of the Bible, and I'm talking, let's pick on the King James Version here because that seems to be the most popular. But if we lived by the letter of the Bible, we would still be living in the Middle Ages.
If we lived by the letter of the Bible, we would be in a very peaceful society, because if everyone followed the Ten Commandments, there'd be no crime.
But don't you understand that by looking at your neighbor, you're breaking one of the commandments?
Of course.
I mean, society would implode.
Of course.
That's my whole point. If we did not use truth perception or truth interpretation, there would be a hell of a lot more mass shootings and mass killings than there already are.
Oh boy.
But the whole concept of the Bible itself is interpretation. It was man's interpretation of the Word of God.
Right.
Man is a fallible creature. We make mistakes. We screw up in translations. We see visions, we write them down. Well, 100 years later, somebody in a different language tries to interpret that. They put it the way they want.
Yeah.
To make sense to them.
Right.
So the whole Bible is basically interpretation of the Word of God by man.
But the whole point is
Those 10 Commandments might have not been what, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. There might have been, I don't know, amendments to that.
a bunch.
The entire Torah is written full of hundreds and hundreds of those kind of laws. And I had a conversation with a rabbi one time, and he got finished telling me, and I said, so let me interpret this my way. So in other words, what you're telling me is all of those are basically a large game of God said, like Simon said, because people weren't listening to what you said out there in the desert. It wasn't enough for you to tell them that they shouldn't be doing that. They had to have God say it. So you created this whole bunch of rules and regulations and slapped the word God said to begin with so that people would actually do them. And he goes, yeah, more or less.
More or less.
Yep.
Yeah.
More or less.
More or less. But do we not see the same thing happening on social networks with posting and reposting?
We've seen the same thing happening for hundreds of years with
I've been guilty of finding something that I like a little bit to begin with, and then I post it and then realize that I didn't say what I thought it was going to.
But do you go back and delete it?
Sometimes.
Do what, Lester?
It's not just the internet. I mean, it was radio, it was TV, it was newspaper, it was books. It's been happening forever.
Yeah.
The internet is just the newest thing.
Yeah. And in all honesty, it'll always happen.
50 years from now, there might be some other kind of technology, and it's still going to continue.
Right. Right. But, I mean, there has to be a sect of people who call bullshit.
There always was.
Right. And they were usually the ones that were imprisoned or killed or exiled or whatever. And I have started this policy on my Facebook anyway. when I post something, if somebody disagrees with it, great. If you only have enough intelligence to reply to my post with bullshit, "Aw, poor John, we thought better of you than that," or "don't be stupid," or other one-liner crap, I just simply delete your ass. Because I'm okay with people disagreeing with me, but if by goddamn it, if you're going to tell me I'm wrong, fucking well tell me why.
Prove it.
Yeah, show me.
I have been tired of listening to people who I truly love say stupid shit, so I started unfollowing them. If they want to continue to harp their bullshit on the other side, I just don't want to listen to it, so I unfollow.
I just unfriend them.
But some people you can't unfriend.
Why? And I mean, I will tell you this. If the bullshit rhetoric continue, and this is under, all right, I'm gonna put this out there, and I'm going to solidify it under the grove of the Celtic shaman tradition. If bullshit rhetoric, unjustified, unfounded crap keeps being fucking posted to society, I will delete said individuals from my friends list and bring them up on sanctions before the Grove of the Celtic Shaman. And I say that on a public fucking forum.
Get you some.
I'm gonna get me some.
Understood, Master Shaman.
I can't tell you how to live your personal life. It's not my job. But I can tell you, if your personal life shows dumbass rhetoric on this grove, the Grove of the Celtic Shaman, and it shows bad on this grove, bicycle motherfucker.
Get to stepping.
That's it. I can't step as high as I used to, goddammit. Takes me longer to go up those steps. But that's the whole fucking point behind, and I call the topic, what is shaman truth? But it simply really comes back to think before you open your fucking mouth. My mother always taught me, think before you speak. My parents always taught me, think before you speak. Society has taught me, don't think before you speak. Be like everybody else and say what everybody else is saying. No. No. But I also know that people, in retrospect, I also know people with basically a good heart. People that normally wouldn't open their mouth and speak out of turn. Or people that wouldn't normally open their mouth and, to coin a phrase, bear false witness, if you will. Shut up, Lester. There are good people out there that have a good heart that would never say or voice things, because if they think about it first, they're not going to say it. But we live in a society of social networking now, social distancing. People have been stuck at home, a lot of them, since February. A lot of people have not left their houses since March, and we're in May now at the time of this video. So they're getting goddamn stir crazy.
Man, fan of that.
I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking last night how there's a little Mexican restaurant in town, not 5 miles up the road. Son, let me tell you, they serve some absolute mean ass fucking Mexican food, and it's cheap. I won't, huh?
Gas on a plate.
Man,
Gas on them.
you know. But the thing of it is I've got a
Oh no,
map. Huh?
that coon ass food get gas on the plate too now.
Oh, I know.
Can you give me-
Absolutely. I am missing me some good old fashioned coon ass boudin. The Walmart up here does sell boudin that is brought in from Louisiana, so it says. It's good.
Is it Richards?
Huh?
Is it Richards?
I have I don't remember the name of it. The wife gets it and I eat it.
I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
I mean, I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. It's good. I've yet to have any stomach issues from it, so.
Good.
I don't put anything in my mouth if I don't know what it is.
Tammy knows what it is, so it's good for him.
His boudin has nothing but ground up meat and rice.
I am
Stuffed in Cajun.
so not saying anything about putting something in your mouth and not knowing what it is. Anyway.
Unless you put that through Snoops, I don't want to hear about it.
Jamie, answer me this. Do you like hot dogs?
Most of the time.
Okay, if you can eat a hot dog, you can eat anything made by a Cajun.
True that. Yep.
Boudin. Oh no.
You know, the only thing I have found better than boudin is good, authentic haggis.
Shodan.
Oh my gosh, no.
Not
Oh yeah.
blood pudding, but haggis.
Haggis. Oh.
Haggis is the same goddamn thing as boudin. It's just it's made in Scotland with Scottish recipes and Scottish meat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, the difference is it's made with barley, whereas Shodan, which is the same thing, but it's the Cajun style, it's made with the rice.
Right.
Yep.
And good shit.
Yes, it's good shit.
And good shits afterwards, too.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, if you're constipated, it'll help you.
Yep.
Poor Rachel, she's putting question marks in the chat there, like, what the fuck are you people talking about?
Shodan.
Rachel, dear, you are not innocent and what? Never.
No, Rachel, no.
No.
Rachel, no. So here's the whole thing, folks.
Yep.
I mean, you guys that are probably getting a little bit of a giggle at watching the pre-recorded broadcast, I'm probably going to post it on every goddamn social network I can find just to piss people off because I don't care. But the whole damn thing is truth as you know it. It's truth as I know it. It's truth as other people know it. But if you're going to spread your truth, okay, if you're going to put your truth in public, you need to be ready for the public to react to it. Anybody that was ever around when I was doing public speaking in Louisiana, we did a public speaking event in Corpus Christi. I've done several in the Dallas area. But anytime
Lake Charles, New Orleans.
Yeah, Louisiana, yeah. Anytime I've done public speaking events, I am very careful with the words that come out of my mouth because I know somebody's going to try to open my mouth and stick my foot in it. And quite frankly, sometimes I'm quite capable of doing that on my own. I don't need any help. So when I post something on social networks, I've checked it out. I mean, if you go through my post since all of this shit started, you will find very little posted by me on political rhetoric crap. And I promise you, I'm on a shitload of different groups that are anti-bullshit groups. I won't use anybody's name.
Right.
But I'm on a shitload of anti-bullshit groups. And I don't take what those people say and repost it. Number one, okay, get this, right? Be comfortable with who you are. Be comfortable with what you are. And if you're comfortable posting stupid shit and rhetoric that says you're a dumbass and uneducated and don't have 2 cents enough to know when something doesn't even sound right, that's who you are. More power to you. Knock yourself out. But if you're somebody that wants to share as proven as possible information, like when I share things about the COVID-19 pandemic, I'm not sure I put a whole lot of stock in the overall numbers.
No.
But I can tell you that videos that are time-stamped of ICU wards, emergency rooms, morgues that are stacked so deep with bodies, I don't know if every one of them died of COVID-19. I'm not a fucking doctor. I'm not a fucking scientist. But I can tell you that the videos that were shown of New York having to use mass graves with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in those mass graves that happened all within 2 months of each other, something is killing fucking people. Whether you're going to call it COVID-19, coronavirus, Gondolia the Flitipus, what the fuck ever. Something's killing people. And so far, they've shown it to be a respiratory disease. They've shown that my mask may not protect me 100% from you, but my mask will protect you from me if I have something. Therefore, if I've got a mask on and you've got a mask on, we're both 75, 80% protected. That in and of itself is a debate, but I don't care if you wear your mask or not. I mean, that's up to you. But because you're trying to feel better about what you're doing, don't post a whole lot of bunch of fucking rhetoric on social networks just because you want to try to feel better about yourself because you're trying to feel guilty.
The ones I can't handle right now are those self-indulgent people who want to post about how beautifully and a rebel they were when they told somebody that they weren't going to wear it and blah, blah, blah. And I can't get past the fact that those people, what happened at some level of humanity that you are so selfish that you can't even bother to wear a mask that would help someone else? It may not help you, and you may not agree with it. That doesn't mean you shouldn't wear it for other people.
The Bubba sitting up in the federal government told them they didn't have to. The Bubba sitting up in the federal government told them they could stand up against their local and city governments and they would be backed up by the federal government. You don't have to do what your federal government or your local government tells you to do. You're an American with American rights, and you can do whatever you want to.
Maybe you can, but what happened to being kind to other people?
That's not taught anymore. The the douchebags sitting up at the federal seat are telling people they don't have to be kind to people.
In there lies the entire problem with this entire last 5 years.
Agreed. Well, not just even 5 years. I mean, we've had some really good people sitting in the government, but you still got those rhetoric minded uh, drama mongers and warmongers out there, trolls as we call them on the internet, that are too busy posting drama and bullshit that they have no idea what the truth is anymore. Fuck, they don't even know what the truth is anymore.
I get it, but what I was trying to say is ultimately this kind of a douchebag has ultimately given rise and permission to all of those kind of, I could give a crap less about anybody but me. I can spout all my own ignorant racial bullshit and gender filled bullshit, and I can treat other people however the hell I want to treat them because I have permission from the highest asshole in the land.
But, Jamie, can I ask a question?
Yep.
At the end of the day, whose responsibility is it to determine how we react to other people's stupidity?
It's our own. However, because there are so many people that were correctly not silenced maybe, but quieted, they're not quieted anymore. We've gone back 60 or 70 years in civil rights and in race and gender relations. We've just gone back.
I agree. And truth, honor, right and wrong,
Integrity.
has all taken a back seat. I mean, it's like I say, you know, I've deleted 75 people off of my Facebook that I have known for years and years, who I always thought to be upstanding, intelligent people. And they have become a part of the problem. So it's like it begins, and I want to kind of start drawing to a close with this. Truth and right or wrong begins with the 5 people that live in the household in which I live. We wear masks when we're going to be in public. We social distance if we have to be in public. And I do so when I get home. I change clothes, and the clothes that I wore to town are put in the hamper, and I wash my hands, right? I shampoo my beard and wash my mustache, and you know, I try to be a relatively clean individual. But it begins in reality. Truth and safety begins with me. It begins with you. It begins with the people that are watching the broadcast. Whether you agree or not with my, whatever standpoints on this broadcast, safety and truth begins with you. I can't change you. It's not my job. I can share information that I have proven to be as true as possible. I don't share rhetoric, I don't share bullshit, and I try real hard not to make statements that are crap. But at the end of the day, I have a bit of say-so of what goes on in our home because I'm a member of this family group. I have a bit of say-so of what goes on in the Grove of the Celtic Shaman because I'm the founder of the tradition. And I have a little bit of say-so of what goes on in Open Pagan Church because I'm the founding minister. But at the end of the day, if the entire freaking group of Open Pagan Church decides to vote me out as the head minister of the church, fine. I say what I say because I have an idea. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. You got it. It's yours.
Damn.
Did anybody tell him about our private vote? I somehow missed that. I'm just kidding, Don. We love you.
We love you.
Ain't nobody ever told me shit, so I just keep talking until somebody tells me something. Sometimes I keep talking after they've told me something, but there you go.
Nobody else wants the job.
Oh, come on, Lester.
I damn sure don't.
So, let's close with this, right? What are y'all's ideas on truth in, and let's narrow this down, posting truth on social networks with unjusted facts that we really don't know is even truth. What are y'all thoughts on that? And we'll wind down with that.
I think the way you worded that was a bit different because everybody's truth can be different, and what my truth is may not be the way that someone else sees.
Agreed.
You can defend the truth that you're stating is true to you, but it may be true to somebody else.
Agreed. But at the same point, where do we draw the line of sharing drama and obvious bullshit?
Apparently that line got erased a long time ago, bro.
True. True.
I'd say try to get the information.
And
In
that's
other words, I think Jan was saying that your truth is your way and his truth is his way, but you got to make sure, double check your truth.
well, it's like Thomas said too. Get the information.
Yeah.
Double check. I'm of the mindset that if I post something and someone says that's not entirely true, here's the link to that rebuttal, I'm going to go and I'm going to read, and if it comes back to be bullshit and a lie or sharing of drama, I'm happy to delete it. Alright, somebody broke up. Somebody's trying to say something, I'm not hearing them.
Miss Jan's breaking up. She's not going through.
I just said I agree with you.
Oh! Wow, Jamie agreed. No. Well, I don't know.
Just
Truth.
close it up.
Say again?
I said go ahead and close it out.
Yeah, I mean, truth is subjective. Honor, perception, interpretation. But bullshit is bullshit. And I guess the whole point to the whole rant in this topic today is to expel some of the feelings of that bullshit and call it out. Because if somebody thinks what I'm posting is bullshit, that's fine. Tell me why. Don't just post bullshit. Don't post stupid little snide fucking comments, because I'm not going to reply to it. if I post something and I'm wrong, show me the truth. Because I don't want to spread bullshit. If you want to spread bullshit, more power to you. But if you're oathed to the tradition of the Grove of the Celtic Shaman, you're not going to spread bullshit. Because we're going to call you on it. So I'm putting people on notice that if you're a member of the Grove of the Celtic Shaman and you're watching this video, this grove will call you on your bullshit. And that goes for anybody, and it goes for everybody, and we'll tell you why. As a society, we need to stop spreading bullshit and drama and start helping each other out. Start posting information that will help people do what they need to do, be safe in their own lives, take care of their families, and do what needs to be done. We've got enough goddamn rhetoric and drama now as it is. It doesn't need to continue. Whatever the truth is, let's find it, let's stand up for it, and if we get kicked in the proverbial balls, then we get kicked in the balls. Let's get up and come back for some more. Anything else to say? Let's hear about it in the comments. I can't wait. Have a great day. Thank you for watching Live with the Shaman, where we're hardly ever politically correct, and we don't care.